lines, get everything started. Good morning. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Big day today. Big day today if you're in the United States. I know we got people tuning in from South Africa and people tuning in from Canada and different places, but if you're in the USA, we get to go exercise our right today and vote, vote, vote. So today, I really like today's lesson, and I picked it. So I'm bragging on me now. So I want to ask you this question, and I want you to do the thing that sometimes we hate to do the most, and that's analyze ourselves. It's tough, man. It's tough to step on your own toes, but it keeps us in check. It keeps us on point. It keeps us growing. It keeps us being a better version of ourselves. So today I want to ask you this. Do you catch yourself right now being a fault finder? Fault finder. Looking at others to find fault rather than looking at the inside of yourself. Okay? And I want to kind of paint the picture of what I'm talking about by being a fault finder. So, Julie, I think you're unmuted, just to let you know. So, on two areas I want you to think about. Number one, when I was playing sports growing up, and even when I went into coaching, the players that I was around, my teammates and players that I coached as I was a coach, one of the things that would happen a lot of times after a big loss, a loss happened, right? And in our world, we feel like it was a big loss, like massive loss, like, you know, like people were not going to lose their lives, but it seemed big, right? It seemed huge. And we would come back into the locker room, or maybe a day or two later, maybe after the weekend, they would come back into the locker room and they would start to turn, and there were people that started pointing fingers. I've been guilty of pointing fingers, okay? I've been guilty of playing the blame game. Well, if they'd been a little more prepared at defensive end, we might not have had that. You know, all those things. Have you ever been a part of groups like that? Have you ever been somebody? Go ahead, raise your hand. I think we all could find ourselves there at some point, dating back when we were a kid to present. Fault finders. That's one version of it. Second thing I wanted to bring up is in my profession now, like network marketing, okay, sales. I see people come into our organization. They handed over their credit card, like they got registered. They wanted to do this. But when it's hard, or they have to, like, I hadn't found many things in life that's not hard, but when they realize that it's not worth fighting for, they turn and they've got to find someone or the company to blame it on. It's just easier. Well, if they would have had the email worked out, I would still be there. If they would have had this product versus that product, I would have still been there. So, fault finders. I got to find a reason why I'm not having the success that I think I should have. So I want to give you some tips really quick, okay? And turn it to coach. Tips to help people on your team or possibly you avoid pointing fingers. I'm here to tell you today I have pointed fingers in my life. I'm here to tell you today that I have found myself at both of these places. But how can I better myself? Number one, encourage everyone on my team to remember 4 words. 4 words. Help more, judge less. Help more, judge less. Talking to myself on that. Hey, Brent, help more, judge less. Number 2, get team members to focus on future that they can impact. Do you realize we can't change the past? If I looked at Julie Bradshaw right now and said, Julie, you have been terrible at network marketing for the last 10 years. Guess what? Julie can't change that, but Julie can go impact the future. Julie can make a difference in the future in the people around her. Number 3, get people to take responsibility for their own behavior. If it's going to be, it's up to me. It's up to me. Get people to take responsibility. I have to take responsibility for my own behavior. If things around me in business, in health, and anything's not going the way it needs to go, I need to point it back at me. It's up to me. I got to take responsibility. Number 4, encourage each team member to avoid speaking when angry and out of control. Woo! Woo! It stepped on my toes. Everybody goes, hey man, Brent seems so nice. Guess what? Brent's got a temper, okay? Now you're my community and I love you so much. So I'm telling you about this. I have a temper. I get angry. Sometimes if some people do things to people around me that's harmful, I'm going to not be very nice. And so encourage people to avoid speaking when angry and out of control. Count, step away, go into another room. Think about it. All things I need to learn. Number 5, before speaking, don't ask, am I correct? Ask, will this help? Before speaking. Now that includes social media, people. Don't ask, am I correct? Just because it's the way you feel or the way I feel. Ask, will this really help the situation? It'll change your perspective. Coach, this was good for me. I'll turn it to you.
Hey, it was great for me too. I mean, when you sent that, I was like, oh yeah, I need this because my toes have been curled up and they need to be stepped right back down on, because let me tell you something. I have in my entire life, I mean, I truly have had to ask for forgiveness, and because it's so easy to be critical when things are not going our way. Maybe I don't really have a whole lot to add to what Brent has already spoken. I told him this morning when I woke up really early this morning. I don't know. I think this time change has messed me up, but and I'm doing my research on it. I couldn't really get a grip on what I wanted to talk about. And I think sometimes that's just it. When those kind of things happen to us, I think it's speaking to us directly when that's happening. And I just thought, you know what? I'm just going to have to come from the heart and shoot from the hip today. Brent does such a fantastic job of doing that, but that's really the only way I knew how to communicate this today. So instead of being a fault finder, I told myself, Myra, you're going to have to become a better love finder. And that's a challenge I want to give to all of y'all. You know, it's so easy for us to be critical, but let's turn that. Let's learn to give and look for the love aspect. You know, I understand that when I'm becoming a love finder, I'll recognize and honor all things with affection and open heart, no matter what race, belief, any of all the hogwash that's going on in the world right now. You know, understand all that I've got to have a better affection on it. So, you know, I am also open to this same capacity of it. But, you know, I understand that all the faults, now hang in here with me right here, because this really, really made me go, Myra Elizabeth Miles. I understand that all the faults that I tend to find in others are actually my own faults, y'all, reflecting back to me. And it's as if I'm looking in the mirror. Have you ever done that? I mean, and be honest. And so, you know, I I need to be more sensitive, I think, in fault founded that's grounded in hate and misunderstanding, especially around family and friends and coworkers. I have to be stronger to stand up. Like Coach was talking about, he has a temper. But you know, all of us have a temper. Some of us are driven even more so because we have a passion for the people that maybe, you know, we care about and fight for. So I got to do a better job of being the love finder instead of the fault finder, and stand up for the people, you know, that are, you know, say, hey, there's no need for that. That's hard to do, y'all. It is. But we need to do that. You know, I challenge you as we go through and end up today's Coach's Corner, think about that. Take all of Brent's notes and tips. They're fantastic. But also turn to be a love finder, not a fault finder. Because, Anthony, if you'll put this slide up for me, it all simply is this. It's summed up very simply in this slide. Your habit of pointing out other people's faults, it's ruining your life. You know that old finger that's pointing at somebody? Look, there's 3 coming back at us. Thank you, Anthony. So let's all do a better job today and every day. And again, thank you so much, Coach Palmer, for sending that, because I needed that today. And let's go out and be love finders. Let's don't be fault finders today. Let's be positive people all day long. Thank you.
Coach, thank you so much. And you did come from the heart. That was awesome. That was awesome. I want to challenge everybody as we end today. Not everybody on here is in the United States voting today, but I have my belief. You have your belief. You have the person you're going to vote for. I have the person I'm going to vote for. I want to challenge us to do something, though. We live in a great land, and no matter the outcome today, or in a week or 2 weeks, it's going to take people like me and you to be an example to the world around us. I challenge you, before you make a post, before you speak, you ask, am I helping the situation? Because in all things, we need people to come together, whether it's our world, whether it's our country, whether it's our organization, whether it's our family. We need people to come together. And I was talking to Andrea Rosser about this yesterday. If it's going to be, it's up to me. We can make a difference in the world. We don't have to just accept it and go, well, that's just the way it is. We can absolutely step up and turn 1 to 5 and 5 to 25 and 25 and exponentially grow an army of people that's out making a difference. I challenge us all to do that today. We're all going to get an opportunity to do that. No matter if it's your belief or my belief, it's what am I doing to help the situation? We're one nation under God, and let's show it to the world. Love you guys. Have a great day.